Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, and today I've got something a little bit different for you guys, and today we're going to be racing as Mercedes in a 50% race around the Hockenheim to simulate this weekend a Mercedes 125th anniversary, and I think it'd be pretty damn good fun to do something different and a bit of a one-off race for a change. So in terms of the Mercedes car this weekend, as you guys know, they've got a very different skin, and it's actually, I wasn't too sure at first, but it's grown on me, and someone has already made the mod on a race department on PC. So if you guys want to download it for yourselves, you can go and check it out by following the link in the description down below. You can see on screen right now, there it is, the kind of silver to white, silver arrow, and it's looking fantastic. You see here, it's pretty damn good within the limitations of the F1 game. You can see where it says Mercedes on the side, it's mirrored on one side because that's just down to limitations on the game. But the actual livery in itself, very decent, pretty damn accurate, and I'm looking forward to having a little race with this and seeing how this car gets on. So yeah, let's have a little bit of fun, and we're going to race as Lewis Hamilton in this one, and we're going to see how we get on around the Hockenheim. We'll start from the back of the grid, and we'll see how we go, how this Mercedes car is. So let's go Hockenheim. We're going to do we'll do a 50% race. What we'll do is I'll put it on, because the Mercedes is the quickest car, I'll put it on 108. I normally do 106 around Hockenheim, but we'll do 108. I'll put a bit of practice on just so I can practice now and get the grips. In terms of assists and gameplay settings, we're going to have flashbacks on in case I have any screen freezes, which is something that I have a lot. Part from May on, simulation damage, safety car on, rules and flags on, strict corner cutting, race starts manual, and surface and carcass tire temperature simulation. In terms of assists, elite, everything off, and manual, as you can see, and then weather time of the day. We'll go for dynamic weather and official start time. So yeah, let's get to it and let's see how we get on, and let's have a little bit of fun in this beautiful Mercedes.
Welcome to the Rhine Valley and the Hockenheim Ring, where we await the start of the highly anticipated German Grand Prix. So let's join the action down on the grid. It's 2.8 miles around the Hockenheim Ring then, and some fairly wet conditions to overcome on this 17-corner circuit. The long, curved back straight leads into a tight hairpin for the best overtaking opportunity. But expect to see the cars running wide, as braking offline could prove very difficult indeed. Joining me on this very wet day is a man who's no stranger to driving in miserable conditions. Anthony Davidson, you've driven open cockpit, you've driven sports cars. How does the wet weather experience change between the different disciplines?
Well, I wouldn't say there's much difference, in all honesty. You know, besides the terrifying closing speeds you find in sports cars with the different categories all sharing the same track, driving in the rain is, well, driving in the rain. Of course, the biggest difference between the two is the closed cockpit versus the open cockpit. You get the luxury of staying dry in the sports car, but if your screen ever gets dirty, well, that's a pit stop, not just wiping your visor or pulling away a tear off. But most of the time, you know, they're both as miserable as each other, to be honest.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Pierre Gasly and Perez, Sainz, Norris, Magnussen and Daniel Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Raikkonen, Roman Grosjean and Stroll, Albon, Fiat, Antonio Giovinazzi and George Russell, Kubica and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, so here we are on the grid then for the German Grand Prix, starting from last place P20 alongside Robert Kubica in the Mercedes here at their home race as Lewis Hamilton. And it's an interesting race, guys. We've got a very, very interesting strategy on our hands. The race is going to start wet and finish dry, so it could be quite interesting, very tasty, and in many ways the opposite to the real life 2018 German Grand Prix, which started in the dry, finished in the wet, and kind of then also dried up at the end. But you know what I mean, it was the other way around. So looking forward to it. Similar conditions to last year's race, so it means that we've got a chance even from last place on the grid, and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can have a good race. Intermediates is a good condition for me in this game, and I tend to be very quick. I think the target is going to be to try and stay on the inters as long as I can and just go straight onto the dries without having to do an extra stop, and also hoping that our pace on the Inter is good. In terms of fuel, we're running 0.5 extra fuel, not too much because I want to be relatively light in the wet period, and I don't want to be too heavy, and I'm not going to really use much fuel, to be honest, in the wet, I don't think. So, yeah, let's see how we go, and let's have a little bit of fun. It is Mercedes' 125th anniversary, and we are celebrating it by doing this race. Let's jump into it. It's time for the German Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. The 5 red lights are coming on here at the Hockenheim. Lights out and away we go. Very, very cautious start. We're going to be pretty safe into turn 1. We'll start making moves out of turn 1 / into turn 2. But for now, let's keep our nose in one piece. Our new white coloured front end on this car in one piece alongside George Russell here. I didn't mean to go down the inside of so many cars, but we just went on the brakes and we found some space. Yellow flag as we make a move. Side by side with Danny Kvyat, who's on the left-hand side. We're going to get on that curve a little bit. Nicely done though, good move. As we get a nice toe here, let's stretch our legs a little bit and test out this Mercedes power unit as we go down towards the hairpin. The conditions are very, very poor at the minute. Dare I say, probably for full wet tyres, but the team recommends us starting on the inters and trying to push through it. Down the inside of Gio at the hairpin. We're going to get past him. There we go. Up to P16 now, making good progress here on this opening lap already. As Valtteri Bottas leads the way still in the other Mercedes. A little bit wide there into the Mercedes-Benz grandstand section here. Car feels good though in these conditions. Feels lively, it feels nimble.
That's a strong start. Well done.
Yep, indeed. Very strong start. Very happy with that. And the lap isn't over yet. Of course, we probably won't make any moves this lap, but we'll start putting the pressure on here as we're now behind Alex Albon. Okay, on to lap 2. Through turn 1. I tend to be pretty good through there, especially in the dry. In the wet, not so much. I'm already on hot lap mode. See if we can line up Albon for an overtake here on the back straight. All about getting a good exit here. Getting the power down nicely. A little bit of oversteer, but that's pretty good. Engine turn up to full whack. Albon's doing pretty well, to be fair. That Toro Rosso is holding on. We're going to have a look at the inside. I have to get on the brake a little bit. Albon does squeeze me, but we are going to go down the inside anyway. At the hairpin. We're going to give Albon the squeeze on the exit. Put him onto the curb. There we go.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
Cheers. Up to P15 now. Up next, Lance Stroll in the racing point as we've got a yellow flag. Behind, no, in front. It's Nico Hülkenberg in his home race. The German in the Renault. He pulls over. And that could be an early retirement for him.
Okay, clear.
Big shame for him. There you go, confirmation out of the race. It wasn't a puncture or anything. It was a full-on retirement. So we're now up to P14 thanks to that. And now Stroll doesn't really have much of a toe, so we're going to be able to hopefully get a run on him fairly soon. Right, here we go. Let's try and get past Lance here. Turn 1. Hold it in 7th gear. Not the best gear, to be fair. Should have maybe gone down to 6th. We've lost a little bit of momentum, but we'll stay within range. What we've got to do now is have a nice tidy turn 2 and turn 3, and then hopefully we'll pick him off on the back straight fairly easily. A little bit of oversteer again there, just trying to get the power down a bit earlier than I'd like. Here we go, we're gaining now though. You can see Stroll has no slipstream. Pretty vulnerable. We're going to pull to the right hand side. Stroll give me the squeeze.
ETA on this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there.
That's good information to know as we go down the inside of Lance Stroll there. A little bit hot on the brakes, but Stroll gave me a bit of a squeeze, so I had to return the favour. So we're up to P13 now, making great progress. These wet conditions, these intermediate conditions more specifically, seem to suit me quite well, as we saw in career mode around Silverstone. So yeah, let's keep going. We've got Kimi and I believe Roman Grosjean battling in front of us here. They've been side by side now for a good 30 seconds. Grosjean just gets in front, but they're losing time as we start to catch up and make progress to these two. Personal best, the track is starting to dry up a little bit. As we pick up a track extension there, a bit of a silly one really. Didn't have to run that wide. I easily made the corner, just kind of forgot to turn, to be honest. Here we go then, we're behind Raikkonen and Grosjean now. I don't have electric pace, you know, compared to the leaders. My pace could be a lot better, but hopefully in the dry we'll be better off. We're gaining on Kimi though, losing rich mix here. I think I'm a little bit too far back for a send into the hairpin. So we'll just sit behind for now and we'll try and maybe pick him off soon. Unless we get a good exit here. Not too bad, but we just lost out a little bit on the intermediate traction phase. Around 3rd to 5th gear we lost a little bit. 24.8 from Valtteri, setting the pace in the Mercedes, of course. We're about a second off that, to be honest. This should still be a personal best, but quite a way off that lap from my teammate. 25.4.
Be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
Got the run through turn 1 on Kimi. He goes defensive a little bit, but he kind of comes back onto the racing line, but he's going to be compromised as he went very narrow into turn 2. Here we go, good exit. We've got the toe on him. He's got a good toe from Grosjean though, so it's going to be hard to pass. We need to pull to the right hand side and do it the long way. Using overtake and also rich mix. Got to be careful to not hit Grosjean here as we go down the inside, so I can't really brake as late as I'd like. But we get the move done, there we go, we're past Raikkonen. Without hitting Grosjean, nice and tidy. The track's already starting to dry out. The rain's dropping off in intensity compared to the first couple of laps. Let's try and get into the top 10 before the weather transition. AI picking up the pace, 24.3 from Sebastian Vettel now. I can't really stretch my legs because I'm stuck beyond traffic, of course. But here we go, we're now right behind Grosjean, we've got good pace. I was gaining, but I'm not going to commit to a move to turn 1. That's a little bit too risky in these conditions. I'll wait. Here we go, we get the run out of 1. Down towards turn 2. Grosjean very hot on the brakes. We're going to do the exact same carbon copy as last lap. Focus on our exit. Through 3. Nice and easy on power there. We've got a lot more straight line speed against the Haas than against the Alpha, so we'll breeze past Grosjean much easier. Although Raikkonen did have a toe from Grosjean last lap, to be fair. There we go, pretty easy move. I didn't want to come back onto the racing line in case I got hit up the rear by Grosjean. Up to P11. Up next, Daniel Ricciardo. Personal best. That final sector was pretty good. Now we're catching Ricciardo.
Behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap form.
The more the track dries out, the quicker I'm getting. And that's good. Let's see if we can get past Ricciardo here. Let's see what that Renault's like for straight line speed. On the back straight, good first sector, half a second up. And look at this, the speed difference of Ricciardo was so much quicker. We're going to go to the left hand side this time. There we go, very easy move. And we are past the Honey Badger. Up into the points now, into the top 10. Up next, Lando Norris. Personal best 24.6. Bottas just set at 24.0, so we're still a little bit off that pace compared to the leaders, but we're quick enough to pass all the midfield runners. We're starting to gain on Lando Norris here, a little bit wide into turn 2. Got the best exit onto the back straight. Are we close enough for an overtake on the McLaren? Let's see, we're gaining a little bit, using some overtake and rich mix. We're a little bit far back, but I fancy the send. I'm not going to quite commit to it though. If we get a good exit out of here, maybe I could. But Lando gets some good traction, so we'll have to wait behind him for a little bit longer.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Interesting, hard tyres.
Copy that.
I'm going to pit in for the mediums. Bottas pits in. I'm going to commit.
Valtteri is in for his stop.
I'm going to pit in as well. Hopefully we shouldn't stack because Valtteri's got a nice gap. So let's have a good pit entry here as Norris stays out. Magnussen pits in. Let's follow him in. Get it all slowed down. There we go. That's a good pit entry. Right, come on boys. Need a good stop here. A little bit of a stack. That's okay.
Go. Exit now. We're
Poor
racing
stop.
on the exit. Exit now.
Very poor. Took ages to get off the jack. We're going to go for mediums. A lot of AI going for soft tyres. I'm going
To speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
to run the softs later on in the race. Got a bit of a late charge. So let's see if we can switch these on, see what the track feels like. Right then, so it's going to be the remaining Inters drivers in the pit lane. Let's see how many places we make up. There's Norris leaving the pit lane, and he was just in front of us, but we lost time in the pit lane, of course, on the jack.
The gap behind is 2.0 seconds.
So we're right behind Norris. We've pretty much rejoined where we were, although we should have come out in front because we lost time in the pit lane, of course. We've lost ground. We're going to have DRS on him, though, so here we go. Let's see if we can try and get past the McLaren. A little bit far back. That McLaren's got good acceleration. I'm gaining a little bit now, but we're a little bit far back. Norris does go defensive slightly. He is on soft tyres, so he's going to have a big advantage. I think all the AR on soft tyres, so they're going to be quite quick at the beginning. hopefully not 5 laps time, it'll be advantage me in the tyre performance. Okay, this time I'm going to try and get the pass on Lando. We've stuck with him. The track has dried up a lot in just that 1 lap. Now we're starting to feel the confidence. Just trying to have a good exit through here. That'll do. Purple first sector. This should be an easy pass. More than close enough this time. Gaining on Lando. We're going to go to the inside. A bit of a squeeze there, but we're past. A bit hot on the brakes. That's going to invite Lando back down the inside, but we'll be okay. There we go. Job done. Up to P9. Got 3 cars in front. Let's get past them all. Look at that. We set the purple lap. We set the fast lap of the race on mediums. Only by...
has started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form.
Only by a fraction. But we set it nonetheless. Norris is stuck with me though, so he's going to have DRS, so we're going to have to probably defend here from the McLaren.
We pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
Here comes Lando. I'm about to use up what I've got left of my ERS. Sainz, Perez and Magnussen all in front of us here, battling away for P6. Okay, so we're within DRS now, the cars in front, so this is going to become a bit of a DRS fest. And it's a bit of a multi-car scrap now, 4th position. You can see Perez and Sainz there side by side, Magnussen not too far behind, and now we're getting involved. Can we get a triple overtake here? Is that possible? Sainz is going to be defenseless, nowhere to go for the McLaren. He gets absolutely swamped. Down towards the hairpin. Perez is on the hard tyres, to be fair. Interesting strategy there from the Racing Point driver. Sainz also on hard tyres, I didn't realise, so they're going to try and go to the end. Magnussen and Perez side by side. And Perez is just going to get in front, I think. There you go. Dirty air kicking in a little bit there, so I can't quite get past at the minute. That was close, very close. Right then, let's try and make an overtake here. Magnussen's going to have a look at Perez, but no way through. I'm going to set up the exit here. Power down, rich mix enabled, now hot lap. Let's try and make a double overtake and get past these guys once and for all. Here we go, we're gaining. I'm going to go to the left hand side. Magnussen as well, he gets boxed in. Want to try and go on the outside, is that possible? Perez holds on. Let's try and get a slipstream. We've got Magnussen. Let's try and get Sergio. Perez with a squeeze down the inside we go. Very compromised line. Switch back. We set Perez up for that. Good speed in that Racing Point on the straight, but we're going to go down the inside. And there we go, we're finally through. Let's try and pull away. Charles Leclerc up next. We've got a lot of ground to make up now to the leaders if we want to try and win this race. So, got to get my head screwed on straight and try and set some good pace. Some strong laps, even though these tyres are no longer that fresh. Let's try and set some lap times.
Leclerc is stopping now.
Leclerc in the pit lane along with Pierre Gasly in the Red Bull. So those guys have had enough of those soft tyres. Those softs do not last at all. They're going to try and get the mediums to the end now probably. Verstappen's on hard tyres. I wonder what tyres Valtteri and Sebastian are on.
Gap to car in front is 13.9 seconds.
Okay, Sebastian Vettel's pitting. He's on to another set of soft tyres. Very aggressive strategy from him. He's probably going to have to stop again, to be honest. I don't know if he'll be able to get to the end.
Up again, so I expect they fixed whatever the problem was.
I think that might be Leclerc, because I was catching Leclerc quite easily, and he was quite a way off the leader, so I'm guessing that's Leclerc, who had car trouble. Meanwhile, Gasly's now within range here in the Red Bull. Fresh mediums, of course. Do we have enough on the straight to stay in front? It's going to be close. Gasly's got the one I'm going to commit to not defending. And he doesn't commit to a move, so that's fine. We keep Gasly behind. A little bit of a snappy rear there. Tyre starting to go a little bit. Personal best. Still pushing.
Some time to the car behind.
Gasly's looking all over the back of me though. He's circling like a shark. Really struggling to get ERS back on target here. It really does consume quick. You can burn it all up in one straight and it takes forever to get it back.
Okay, gap ahead is 7.5 seconds.
Here comes Pierre, DRS. I'm going to show him to the outside. Down towards the hairpin. Side by side, a little bit of contact there. as we lock up. I'm going to get the traction down though and stay in front. There we go. Good defensive driving.
We advise moving to mix 2. Fuel to mix 2.
Here comes Pierre again. He's got the one. We're going to go defensive once again. Show him the long way round. That's way too hot for me. I've completely overdone it. Accidentally hit neutral. That's a mistake from me then. That's giving Pierre the position. Let's see if we can try and keep up and try and stay in his DRS.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
That came out of nowhere, but I'm trying to hang on to Gazzy, so I'm giving it everything that I've got, and DRS is also helping me out there in terms of getting that lap. I found half second in sector 2 because of the DRS alone. And we're sticking with Gazzy here. We're staying within DRS, which is fine. We should pit in around 2 laps time. Look at this toe, literally perfect toe to hit him right at the end of the straight. Okay, let's try and read past Gasly then. Got a better pace than him, it seems. He tried to pull away, turn the engine up for a little bit. Didn't quite work out. Look at the speed difference as we power past the Honda. Get it down to the apex, there we go. Nice move around the outside, textbook stuff. As we're now in the final 10 laps of the race. A safety car or VSC would be fantastic now, it really would get me right into this race.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed.
Yeah, we're going to pitch in this lap for soft tyres. Sebastian Vettel's already in the pit lane. He's also going to go for another set of softs. Very aggressive strategy. Bottas must be on the hard tyres. So here we go into the pit lane. A little bit of gravel there, that's not ideal. There we go, good entry, good in lap. And now we're going to push like crazy on these tyres. Come on, boys.
Go now.
Damn it. 2.7, not a good stop. And then also I missed my pull away again for the second time this race. Not the best stops. I've definitely done myself no favours, but let's rejoin in P8 in clean air if possible.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Right, so realistically, I think P6 is where we're going to finish. Maybe P5, I think Leclerc could be catchable, if that's even a word. But let's have some fun on these tyres, let's see what we got, and stretch our legs a little bit. Okay, so Sebastian sets at 12.9, that's the reference, because then we'll know if I maybe set the difficulty a little bit too hard on 108, because if I can't go quicker than that in a quicker car, that kind of says everything you need to know. So here we go, no purple sectors just yet. Up to the line, do we beat that? No we don't, half a second off. So in hindsight, I probably maybe should have gone 107 AI maybe. I was wondering that the whole race, just to confirm it, and
Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds per lap.
my suspicion has been confirmed. So yeah, overall, got it wrong on the difficulty. Should have gone a little bit less, but still an enjoyable race nonetheless. 6 laps to go. Let's try and get past Sainz and Perez, who are just up the road. Leclerc a little bit further ahead. Pressure now really on Sainz, trying to get past him. Very low on ERS. I've got to try and save a little bit. Like I said, this track really does, consume the battery very quickly,
There's
very
5
easily.
laps of fuel remaining.
DRS and Sainz. Yeah, I'm not going to pass him on this straight. I'll wait until after turn 1. DRS now. Here we go. A little bit of rich mix. I'm going to keep it in none. Go on the outside.
You're pulling out a second a lap on the car behind.
Maybe not, but we'll get him here. This will be easy. Like picking candy from a baby. DRS, there we go. We're going to go to the left-hand side on the McLaren. Job done, there we go. Now let's get Sergio Perez if we can. Oh, now let's get past Perez. I think he might be a little bit too far ahead, to be honest, on this straight. That racing point is very quick. I'm going to use a little bit of overtake, but I don't have much to use. Come on. But gaining, but that racing point is so slippery on a straight. Very hot on the brakes, down to the marbles. I tried to go on the outside. We get the better traction though, look at that. So much more traction on these tyres. Overtaking rich mix engaged. Perez trying to hang it down the inside. Fair play. I'm going to go around the outside. Inside for the next corner, and there we go. This time we're through. Right, can we catch Leclerc? 7 seconds up the road. 3 laps to go. Next time we cross the line, we're going to have
There's
to
3 laps of fuel remaining.
really pull something special out the hat if we want to catch Leclerc in this race, I think. Really special. Only made up 4 tenths on that lap. Seems like Leclerc's matching my pace. He's got good speed on that medium, so he must have had car trouble earlier on. So looks like it's going to be P6 for us here today. There we go then, as we cross the Mercedes-Benz grandstand, it's Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes who wins here at the Hockenheim. I'm guessing he put the hard tyres on. In hindsight, I maybe should have gone for that. That might have been a better strategy to get me back into the race, but I really thought with this car on this difficulty I had the pace to make my way through the field and really make the recovery, but clearly not. I should have gone down to 107. Either way, an entertaining and fun race nonetheless, and it's gone by in a flash. Really enjoyed it. Last to P6, not too shabby. Here we go, across the line for the German Grand Prix. Get in.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today and the results speak for themselves.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So there we have it then, the final results are in. Valtteri Bottas wins at the Hockenheim. Max Verstappen in P2, those guys went for the hard tyres. You can see their best lap of the race, quite slower than everybody else. Sebastian Vettel on a 3-stop, very, very aggressive. And he actually got a podium in the end and picked up the fastest lap and the extra point. Pierre Gasly P4, Charles Leclerc P5, and we come home P6 after starting from the back of the grid on a 2-stop strategy. Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Kevin Magnussen and Lando Norris round out the top 10 and the point scorers here today. And towards the bottom of the table, Nico Hülkenberg in his home race, retiring from the Grand Prix in the Renault. But guys, that is it for this video and this random one-off video with the new Mercedes livery, which I want to showcase to you guys and also do as a tribute to Mercedes. And yeah, hope you guys did enjoy it. If you want to see more of these, then let me know in the comments down below in terms of video ideas, and I'll certainly do more of these in the near future. But if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like and also subscribe if you are new to the channel, and also turn on notifications to not miss a video from me. And yeah guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and also check out these two on your screen right now if you have missed them. But other than that, thank you for watching guys, and I'll see you on my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.